Alright, we have a matchup here between VOD Bach, also known as Bjorn, and SOK Crowfather, also known as Butcher Bird. Some Greenskins versus Skaven. The pretty wild all-goblin build on one side versus, I don't want to say equally wild, but pretty strange as well from the Skaven. No globes. Gutter Runners, 4 Gutter Runners, 2 Night Runners. 2 of the Gutter Runners have poison. We have Ikit Claw on his Doom Flare, it looks like. Yep, with Warp Lightning and Flensing Ruin. We do have a Chieftain on Bonebreaker as a little bit of a bodyguard for him. 4 Wolf Rats, 2 with poison, 3 with poison, 1 with the magic damage armor piercing, 4 Rat Ogres, and then 3 Skaven Slaves. This feels like a strat game style build. On the other side, for the Green Beans, we do have a Doom Diver Catapult. Looks like 4 Night Goblin Squig Hoppers, one of which is the Durkit Squig Hoppers. Some Night Goblin Archers. Yeah, Night Goblin Archers, Morgamagi Marauders. A bunch of Night Goblins. Some of them are the Spinning Loons fanatics. Some are not, including the ROR Spinning Loons fanatics that are unbreakable. And Nasty Skalkas, the Stalked Boys with the opportunistic Murderer. Enables if in melee, or recharges if engaged to melee. Okay, so it looks like they get a big damage buff for like a bit. Yeah, for the first 15 seconds of melee combat, the Nasty Skulkers get good buffs. Anyway, Night Goblins getting charged in the face by Wolf Rats and Rat Ogres. It will not be a good time for them. Meanwhile, Ikit Claw throws down a Warp Lightning and a Brass Orb to really dissuade this flank. The leadership debuff from the Lure of Ruins passive, plus all the damage, immediately causes these guys to break. So just right away, the front line for the Greenskins is not going particularly well, though the Skaven are also doing a lot of kiting, and where they do engage, they're quickly punished by Archers and the Night Goblin boss with his Tormentor Sword locking these Wolf Rats and Rat Ogres in place for all the Archers to just shoot them down. So a lot of damage going into the front lines of both sides. Meanwhile, the skirmish elements for the Skaven are perfectly free and clear and fine, and so far the Archers for Greenskins have been fine. Though, as I say that, Night Goblin Archers are going to get taken out. Oh, also there's a Night Goblin Shaman. I forgot to mention that. And the Night Goblin War Boss with his Fermented Fungi and his Tormentor Sword. This is pretty fun stuff. Itchy Nuisance, Gorkle Fix-It, Sneaky Stabbing, all that stuff. Night Goblin Squig Hoppers beating up on some Rat Ogres, but then with Ikit Claw and some spell support, they are going to be routed off. It looks like the Rat Ogres will even withstand that abuse for just a little bit. Morgo's Magic Marauders peeling off the Wolf Rats, keeping the Archers healthy. The Archers so far doing quite well, and wow, a big Greenskin pocket of Squigs is going to rout a lot of Molder units, except these Wolf Rats barely cling to life, and the other ones are still full HP, so they're just chilling. They're doing just fine. Skirmish units are coming in and trying to support a little bit. Ikit Claw and his Rat Ogres are now free and clear on the back line. Balance Power is about dead even 3 minutes in this game, and a lot of stuff's already dead. A lot of stuff's already dead. Getting routed off. Grace is here. Hi, Grace.
Bye.
Goodbye, Grace. Grace is leaving. Meanwhile, the Chieftain has isolated the Night Goblin Shaman and is currently trying to finish him off. One last good attack would do it, and there it goes. Gorkle Fix-It trying to slow him down as all these Archers shoot at him, but the Night Goblin Shaman is routing as well. So it looks like both of these heroes for both sides are going to take a rather good shellacking and get out of there. Meanwhile, Rat Ogre is pushed off the Doom Diver Catapults. Now they are running down Night Goblin Archers, but they will get rear charged by Squig Hoppers. Still have to be careful about that. For the Skaven, their Skirmish Corps is still fine, though most of them are out of ammunition, just making them hybrid, like, melee infantry units at this point. And another Warp Lightning is trying to support the Rat Ogres by clearing out some stuff, but also the army-wide leadership debuff, making more things rout, but the Rusty Arrow is still firing. Still plenty of ammo, though they are going to get run down by Gutter Runners, who will demolish them in melee pretty easily. Rest in peace. The Rusty Arrow is probably going to die here. Ikit Claw opting into a fight with some Night Goblins. More Night Goblins running around, but I don't know if they have any Spinning Loons left. Maybe 1. Actually, I can just check now. It's game 3. Wow, 2 uses left. Careful not to hit your own guys. Oh, and this big clump right here would be a good choice. It looks like he tries to do that. They are doing more friendly fire than enemy fire, unfortunately. That does tend to happen with these Night Goblins. Well, actually, ooh, at the tail end of that, they took out half HP from Gutter Runners, so that's pretty good. Meanwhile, the one Rat Ogre that was disrupting the backline is eventually routed off. All these Greenskins barely clinging to leadership, barely clinging to life, all teaming up on these little gutter runners, just trying to keep them at bay for a little bit. Ikit Claw is stuck fighting the Night Goblin Warboss. He's been using a lot of Warp Lightnings, and yeah, there comes the first Flensing Ruin. Flensing Ruin will take out this guy quite easily, especially if it's overcasted. It is not, but his health pool is just not large enough to withstand a spell of that caliber. Skaven using the last of their ammunition. All these guys are out. 2 volleys left on this one. 1 on the one that's currently running away. I just accidentally kicked the dog. Hello, dog. That was walking behind me as soon as I was swinging my leg while I was talking, so she seems okay. Fermented Fungi does rampage Ikit and lowers his melee defense to 12. The Night Goblin Warboss is trying to chase him down in that little swing of his, get a little bit of a Lord Snipe attempt. We constantly keep hearing the net spell effect going off. And that is annoying, but that is a bug with the gutter runners right now. They just have that over and over and over again. Balance of power is significantly favoring the Greenskins at this point. I am a little suspect. I think it just undervalues Night Runners and gutter runners because they're out of ammunition, so it treats them more like a ranged unit than as a melee unit. But like these full health guys have some pretty good melee prowess left to give in this game. Wolf Rats rallying for a moment. They will charge the Night Goblin Warboss and like immediately break, but they'll buy Ikit a couple seconds and deal a little bit of damage on their way out the door. Rat Ogre's also trying to disrupt the backfield. Greenskins running out of people to take the damage for them. Archers shooting into these gutter runners, but I really think the gutter runners and Night Runners, now that they're committing to melee, are just going to swarm over the backline and entirely take down the Greenskins. I think the bounce power is full of shit. Rat Ogre's really close to routing yet again, though they do hold on. They get over here under the... Oh, that's another huge thing. The Doomdiver catapults having like full HP, full ammunition is really weighing down this balance of power, but there's no way they get back to their mounts with all these gutter runners, so yeah, never mind. I can see how the balance of power thinks that they're more important than they are. Ikit's just running away from the Night Goblin Warboss. He should save any of his remaining Winds of Magic for Flensing Ruins. Take care of that guy. Another Gork'll fix it, trying to slow down Rat Ogres and Skaven Slaves so that the Rusty Arrows can turn and shoot. They are already beset by gutter runners on all sides. And so are the Doom Divers getting chased off. I think if those Doom Divers die, because if they rout, it's not the same, but if they die, that balance power is going to swing significantly back towards the Skaven, and even as they rout, it already goes back to half. But I think when they're off the map, you'll see that shift quite heavily, because if you really look at what the Greenskins have, we have a half-health Night Goblin, a half-health Night Goblin Warboss, an almost dead Shaman, and everything else is routing or dead. For the Skaven, you have a bunch of healthy gutter runners just running around, and take it at half HP. Ikit and his Rat Ogres attempting to snipe the Night Goblin Shaman don't manage to actually take him out until now, maybe? Maybe. He's doing his best to fight his way back into the game. I heard another Flensing Ruin. There it is. Flensing Ruin onto the Night Goblin Warboss. It is not overcasted, but you can see even without the overcast, it's still doing that much damage to him. It's just really bodying that guy. Night Runners finish off the last of the Unbreakable Gobos. There, the Shaman is routing. There's the shatter from the Doomdiver catapults, and the army losses gets real close as soon as that unit with full ammunition dies off. That is the end of it. And the Skaven hybrid infantry not getting the respect they deserve from the balance of power, but really putting in the work where it counted. Ikit Claw, 1,900 value. Chieftain really underperformed, unfortunately. I think he was there in case of like Grom the Punch, Stone Trolls or something, and instead he just got archered in the face, so not his best day, unfortunately, for him. Gutter Runners did pretty well value-wise. Rat Ogres were crucial, but didn't get great value. Wolf Rats were also quite important, didn't get amazing value. Night Runners paid for themselves with gusto, and Skaven Slaves did fine. On the other side for Crow Father, Night Goblin Warboss did okay. Goblin Shaman threw out a lot of buffs and debuffs and stuff. Night Goblins I'm not sold on. They didn't really do too much, unfortunately, for them. Nasty Skulkers also undervalued a little bit, but the Archers did fine. Squig Hoppers did not as well as I would have thought, interestingly. Morgan's v. Girage did okay. Doomdiver Catapult, really? Less than 100 value? What the fuck? Okay. I mean, I know it got pushed off its mount in the first third of the game, but you still think it got like 4 or 5 volleys off. Weird. Anyway, GG. Rawr.
Subscribe, yes.